angel of the Lord appeared unto Moses in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. So how could the Apostle Paul say our God is a consuming fire, and Moses standing before the bush, and the bush was not consumed? Is this a paradox? Is this a contradiction? Oh. Our God is a consuming fire, Paul says, and Moses says the bush was not consumed by the fire. So this is a different kind of fire than the fire we know. We know of physical fire. This is a different kind of fire. Physical fire would have burnt that bush up. This is not physical fire. Our God is a consuming fire, but the bush was not consumed. So what is consumed? Deuteronomy 33. And Moses said, the Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them, and he shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. A fiery law. So our God is a consuming fire. His presence is a consuming fire, but the bush wasn't consumed. His law is said to be a fire. Exodus 24:17, the glory of the Lord, and the sight of the glory of Yahweh was like devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. This brings us to that amazing statement in Patriarchs and Prophets. God is love. His nature, his law is love. But here we are saying that his nature, his glory, his law are all fire. Do some maths with me. His nature, his law is love. His nature, his law is fire. You don't have to be a rocket science to see what fire in this case means, but we'll move on. Then Daniel, the prophet Daniel, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. These are the prophets that looked and saw. This brings us then to eternal realities. Eternal realities. Follow carefully. Don't be distracted. As Elder Austin Graves mentioned this morning, you will see that his line on gospel order ties in very amazingly with this line on the Godhead. Infinite power is the primary eternal reality in the universe. We know that from both the Bible and science. Power must have always existed. And that original power must have been infinite and eternal. Here we come face to face with God, and the scientists cannot get away. 2, infinite wisdom of infinite necessity is born of infinite power. 3, and the unity between the two is infinite love. Infinite power, infinite wisdom, infinite love. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. I mentioned already, earlier on, that there's a fundamental law of science that tells us energy is neither created nor destroyed in any chemical, biological, or physical process. That is a law of science. And that law means right away that there must have been an original, infinite, eternal power. Paul says, therefore, scientists are without excuse. And wisdom says, then I was by him, as one brought up with him. I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. Now, infinite wisdom must give itself fully to infinite power, in order for infinite power to function through infinite wisdom, to sustain infinite life and every other excellence in the universe. Right here now, we are at the heart of God, and we are at the heart of absolute order in the universe. God can never change from this order. He must always use infinite power through infinite wisdom, and that is the order that Satan challenged in heaven. Satan wanted infinite power to flow from the Father straight to him and bypass the Son. Look at it again. Let it sink in. Infinite wisdom must give itself fully to infinite power in order for infinite power to function through infinite wisdom to sustain life and every other excellence in the universe. This mutual self-giving of infinite power and infinite wisdom to each other is a constant circular flow. It is the flow of eternal agape love, the Holy Spirit. That is why the Holy Spirit is never pictured sitting down on anything. The Father sits on the throne, the Son sits on the throne, the Holy Spirit is always pictured on the move, flowing. Let me ask you a question. If the Apostle Paul says that by examining the natural world, we learn of the eternal realities, tell me something about yourself that you observe that teaches you of the Godhead. Which organ in your body does not remain still? Your blood. Your blood is an organ. I know it will catch you. Your liver is an organ in one place. Your heart is an organ in one place. Your brain is an organ in one place. Your blood is an organ that can't be in one place. It must be on the move. Your blood must always be flowing. The blood is the life, just as the Spirit is the life. Your blood in you teaches you of the Holy Spirit, which must always be on the flow. You get it? Paul says if you look at natural things, you will learn of divine realities. Your blood is an organ. You never thought so, huh? That's why some people don't think that the Holy Spirit is a person, because it is always flowing. But the Holy Spirit is a person whose personality is dynamic, must flow. Can't sit on a chair or on a throne. Must flow. Whoa. This means, and this is very fundamental, I know this is the lecture before lunch, and some of you require infinite power to keep small muscles